Hello, friends and fans, and welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. I'm Jack, and as always, I'm here with Liam.
How's it going?
And today, guys, we're moving away from the Quarry and we're doing a little bit of speculating on what not the next Dark Pictures game is, because we know that that's The Devil in Me, but the one after that. We think we've found some juicy clues as to how season 2 of the Dark Pictures could kick off. So let's get into it, shall we? Right, so we all remember House of Ashes, right? And we all remember our favourite character called Salim Othman. And I've got to say, rather, at the time, I thought it was quite a strange surname. If obviously you look a little bit deeper, I think there has been some murmurings about this online already. But if you combine his name together as Salim Othman, you can find the word Mothman in there. And to be honest, this wouldn't have struck a chord with me had I not seen another YouTube channel, which, funnily enough, I found because of Man of Medan. It's called Bedtime Stories. But it's this channel where they do stories about crimes and various cryptids. It's really good, actually, and they did actually do one on the Mothman, so that's how I've come to know about it. And then to build on this, when you play the Quarry and you look at Abigail's t-shirt, you can see that there is a moth on her t-shirt. So we know how Supermassive, they love to give little clues on t-shirts. They did it with Nick in House of Ashes because it says Chicago, and we know that Devil in Me is set in Chicago. We know that Comrade, he had the word Salem written across his. And of course, Little Hope was set kind of during the Salem witch trials. At least it had that timeline thing going on. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye on. I think actually there's another t-shirt in the Quarry belonging to Nick, and he has Mannington written on his shirt. So I did a bit of digging, and there is a Mannington based out in West Virginia. Now, initially you'd think, well, what the hell does that mean? Is that the location of the game? And it could well be, but the fact of the matter is if you do a quick Google search of the Mothman and you look at its Wikipedia page, we'll find out that the Mothman is West Virginian folklore. So there's a very tangible connection now, and I think we can confidently say that the Mothman will be an upcoming villain in the Dark Pictures anthology. So yeah, I mean, that's all the evidence I've managed to get on my end, mate, but I know you want to add on to it even more, right?
Oh, so obviously that's a really impressive bit of digging, but I just thought I would put two and two together more and kind of go down some more avenues. So first I wanted to think about, since we've already had some leaked titles about what game this could link to. Now we've got things like Winterfell, Directive 8020, Craven Man, for example. Now I was thinking about which one it could be, and I decided that I reckon it's going to be intercession. Now if you look at the meaning for intercession, it can mean the action of saying a prayer on behalf of another. Now this is quite a biblical word, quite a religious word. So I have a feeling that Supermassive Games Dark Pictures Anthology are going to come up with quite a religious context game coming up. Now, I'm not religious myself, but I am aware that there are a few Bible quotes involving moths. So, for example, there's things such as like in Job 13:28, while I'm decaying like a rotten thing, like a garment that is moth-eaten. There's a lot of quotes there. I found a website with about, 15 of them, for example. Now, moths always seem to be linked with death and fragility. Now, I know they've used things like totems and crows to kind of come up with this. But yeah, it just seems very fitting to me that, we've got this intercession game coming up. You found all this evidence about how we could have a Mothman in West Virginia in a potential place called Mannington. And then this just further cements it. We've got a religious title. Could we have a religious Dark Pictures anthology game with a Mothman in it? And then there's a bunch of religious stuff going on as well? Possibly so, we'll have to see. And if you also, like you did, look at the fashion, you saw the moth on Abby. I just thought I'd dig even further. Her belt has 59 scattered across it. Now, 59, it's just a number. It can mean many things. I looked at stuff like the angel number, which said stuff about change. But if you link it back to religion, now it could be talking about Isaiah. Sorry if you're Christian, I've just deeply offended you, or if that's your name. But Isaiah 59 is a whole passage which talks about sin, confession, and redemption, which strongly links to the word intercession as well. So, yeah, maybe we've just found some really lucky parallels, Jack, but I think there's a really decent and juicy enough evidence there to kind of go off that we might not fully be crazy and that we might have just cracked a code. So, yeah, but thank you very much for hearing my part.
Yeah, I definitely think we're on to something here, mate, for sure. And honestly as well, there might be some people thinking, but maybe it's Craven Man next, and that could be the case. Obviously, there is Ryan's t-shirt as well that has Cult Damage written on it as well, and I don't know, there's just something about the Craven Man title that gives off like Midsummer vibes, that movie. And obviously that involves a cult, but I think that they're going to kick off with Intercession. They tend to do it with the clues and the little references. It tends to be the next game that they're referring to, or the one after that. Of course, I think the way COVID impacted Supermassive games, because I know I've said before that I did originally intend for these Dark Pictures games to come out every 6 months. So if you think that Man of Medan, it come out in August 2019, I believe, Little Hope should have come out in February 2020, but I think it ended up coming out October 2020, which meant that House of Ashes should have come out August 2020, then Devil in Me should have been out February 2021. So I think that they originally intended the Quarry to come out in 2021, last summer perhaps. Therefore, going into say 2022, which obviously everything's been delayed, it would have been a nice transition to go into Intercession because all of the clues were there in the Quarry. Obviously, we do have the Devil in Me still to come out yet. I think that original structure was what their intended plan was. So, yeah, massive info dump, guys, but do let us know what you think. Are we onto something? Is the Mothman going to be a major villain in an upcoming Dark Pictures game? So yeah, that's all from me. Have you got anything else to add, mate?
Just to mention that obviously maybe there's Easter eggs there that we've completely missed, and if you can find them to further reinforce what we've said or maybe challenge what we've said, we'd love to hear them, so drop them in the comments, guys. But yeah, thank you very much for hearing our theories.
Yep, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and as always, we'll see you in the next video. Ciao.
Take care, guys.